Okay, hi everybody, so today's video is a review on the second graphic novel of Once Upon a Time called Out of the Past, and it has 4 stories about Captain Hook, Rumple and Belle, Jefferson the Mad Hatter, and Regina the Evil Queen. And then, so there's all those characters. Here's the back. This is Regina, by the way. And then this is Captain Hook. I'm gonna go ahead and just get started in the review. So the first story is the Captain Hook story. So each of the character story is in a chapter in this graphic novel. Unlike the first one, which was just one like whole story, this is for mini stories. So Captain Hook's story is called Dead in the Water. Here's some art. This is actually really pretty. Overall, the artwork for Captain Hook's story was very simple. See how like really simplistic it is? I think it could have been drawn way better. Like the characters, like facial features aren't even really defined. Look at like right here, for example, like there's nothing, like no details in the middle right here. There's no water right here. Like the ship is just black. Like no details whatsoever. In this story, Hook goes to a place called the Leviathan Shoals, where he runs into like I guess the spirit of his brother, or an illusion of his brother, or something like that. His older brother Liam, who, as we know, died. This is before he became Captain Hook, before he even met Mila in this story, which is really cool because we don't really know much about that time for Hook. When he became a pirate, but before he met Mila. So I like that part of the story, getting to learn more about Hook. But I really wish that the art style was better because it's so simple that it really affects the story and drags it, I feel like, and makes it kind of boring. So here's the Leviathan, for example. See this? It's just eyes and a mouth. It's not even a fully drawn creature. I think like that right there, had they drawn the creature, it would have been way better. Like even the action against the creature would have looked so much cooler. I feel like had they really took the time to draw this and really detailed it. Because I feel like, when you have something like a Leviathan, you think it's gonna be such a cool, swashbuckling, piratey adventure, and I love pirates. I wish it was just drawn better, but the story itself is pretty good. They could have added more, I feel like, especially for like this, shoal area. Like maybe, was it a phantom? Was it not a phantom? Was it really Liam? Who knows? I feel like more things could have been added to like that part of the story. But in terms of, the character of Hook, I felt like getting to learn more about his relationship with his brother and, things like that, it served its purpose. And I enjoyed it though. One that really shocked me that I ended up enjoying was the Rumple and Belle story. And it is called Truth, or I don't know what it's called because I can't read it. Here's Rumple Belle. She's tied up. Did you notice that? The artwork's very like pastel-y and kind of look like watercolors in a way. I mentioned that like because it's so simple, like it doesn't look like Colin O'Donoghue for Hook, but look, it actually looks like Emily de Ravin right here in certain little bits of the this section. It actually looks like Emily de Ravin. But Robert Carlo, they drew him with this really like big nose in a lot of the parts. Not right here, but it's like really big and really long. I don't know why they drew it like that, but I don't think that's how his nose is on the show. I like the castle right here. It looks really pretty. This artwork is better than the Hook one, I feel like. It is a little bit more detailed, but there are some moments where you can like hear like people's faces are very simplistic and they're not really well defined, like right here. So in that way, it's a little it fails. I really love how they drew all the settings of like the forest and the castles. Looks really nice. I like that. So this person did a good job with the background, like the settings, in my opinion. And then there, like I said, sometimes they did really good with Belle's face and making it look like Emily de Ravin. The story, in this story, Belle is in the market. This is in the very early days of her time with Rumpelstiltskin when she's a servant. And she meets a friend named Samuel from her childhood, and he's injured, and she tries to take care of him, and then he says, "Oh, your father sent me to save you, and we're gonna put Rumpelstiltskin in Pandora's box," which is what he has, and this is how we find out where Rumpelstiltskin gets Pandora's box, as well as some other things. What's really cool about this story is it really showcases how smart Belle is. Like, she knew something was fishy about that story and things, and she was able to figure out that her friend Samuel wasn't there because of her father. He was there to capture Rumpelstiltskin, to use him, to control him and use him for his own means. So I think it's really cool, and it also shows how brave she was, willing to set aside, her friendship for this person and put, the safety of the other people of the Enchanted Forest first. So I really like that. And also, it shows that Rumple can trust Belle. Like, she's obviously someone he can trust. I don't know if he learned to trust her yet in this point. You can see like a spark. There's something there. Right? There's something here for the romance, but I don't think they're in love yet. So there was like a little spark of something. And then the Regina story, so she's in the forest, and her carriage gets turned over, and she runs into William, Daniel's brother, and he's trying to kill her because he blames her for Daniel's death, kind of like how she blames Snow White. It does make, like, his reasoning makes sense. He's like, I know you didn't actually physically kill him, because had you just left my brother alone, he'd still be alive. Like, you promised him this great life, is what he was saying. You made him think things were gonna happen. So I can understand his reasoning a little bit more than Regina's, to be honest. Like, I feel like, yes, Snow told the secret, but she was a child and was talking to Cora. I feel like, Cora's a mastermind. She's not an idiot. Like, she's gonna find a way to find out what's going on with Regina, whether Snow told her, willingly or not. So there's a lot of, speculation. But here's some of the artwork. It's very dark. There's Regina. It doesn't look a thing like Lana Parrilla at all. It's very dark, very black. The human characters in the story are the only thing that have color, which I feel like I would love more color. I know it's supposed to be like a dark forest at night, but even, there could have been more, I feel like. There's Daniel's brother, William. The story it was kind of boring, to be honest, to me. I feel like Shadow of the Queen is a better Regina story than this one. Didn't add anything to her character or plot. We kind of knew how, revenge driven she was to go after Snow White. Like, no one was going to convince her that it wasn't Snow White's fault at this point in time. So I feel like it didn't really do anything. I mean, it was, I guess, cool to find out that Danny had a brother. I don't know. I mean, it didn't add anything to her character, to be honest. At least that's my opinion. Because she ends up killing William in the end, which I thought was sad. It shows how far she's gone, though. She's willing to kill the man of who she thought was her true love, the brother. She's willing to kill the brother of the man who she thought was her true love. But I think the best story in this book is the Mad Hatter story about Jefferson. We really get to learn a lot about his character. Before having Grace, he was a thief, and then he meets another thief named Priscilla, and that's who he marries and has Grace with. And it's a really sad story too, because it ends tragically. He gets a letter from a colleague, if you will, saying there's like a kind of like a time turner, like in Harry Potter, how Hermione had the time turner that goes back and forward, backwards in time. It's something like that he's looking for. It's called the Clock of Evermore, and he goes to Wonderland to find it, and it's in the possession of the March Hare, who in this story is really creepy and really psychotic. Like, I mean, where's a good picture of him? Let me show you. Here we go. Look at this one. Look at it. That's the March Hare. And in case you're wondering what this is blood. These are the ears of hares that he's hunted. Hares being like rabbits. So these are like rabbit ears. He's made a hat out of them. And this is the blood from those ears. Obviously, so gross. So crazy. Look at that. Look at that smile. Like, he's clearly an insane person. Which is a really big twist on the character of the March Hare. Not only that, and he's human, because if you've read or even seen the animated movie, you know that in those ones he's an animal. He's a hare. So he gets captured by the March Hare, and Priscilla goes to rescue him. And in trying to rescue Jefferson as they're trying to escape, she gets shot with an arrow and dies. And that's why he puts away his hat for good. He sells the big mansion he had, and he lives with Grace in the house that we see in the episode when Regina comes to try and get him to work for her. I think he had the best story because we learned more about his character, because we really didn't learn too much about his character on the show. We obviously saw that how he got separated from Grace and how he ended up in Wonderland. We saw, his relationship with Regina, and that, he used to work for Rumpelstiltskin. I'm assuming that those stories happened before Grace was born, because he hung up the hat. So, I don't know, continuity-wise, I'm not sure where this story takes place. But I felt like you really understand Jefferson a lot more with this story. It was very sad. I wish we could have seen some of this in the show, because I think it would have been great to have seen Sebastian Stan act this out, because I think he's a good actor. And the artwork. I forgot to mention that. This person, I loved how she designed Wonderland. Again, the people could have been drawn better. It doesn't look like Sebastian Stan. To be honest, I do think the March Hare was all really creepy. I liked him, because I thought he was so creepy how he was drawn. But look, here's Wonderland. That's the dodo bird. I just love how it was drawn. I think Wonderland is probably one of the easiest things for people to get really creative with drawing wise, because it's just such an imaginative world. So yeah, that's really all I had to say about that art style. Overall, I think if you're a fan of Once Upon a Time, you're gonna want this. If you're a fan of like individual characters, like you love Regina, this isn't the book for you. Even if you love Captain Hook, it's not the book for you. If you love Rumblebell, this is the book for you though, because it was a good story for them. But if you are someone that really wants to know more about the Mad Hatter, I suggest picking this up. I think if I put in order of least to favorite, my favorite was Mad Hatter, Rumple and Bell, Hook, and then Regina's on the bottom. So yeah, I thought it was really good. I'd give this a C, because I think these two stories dragged it down in the artwork as well. I felt like the first one was a lot better. But yeah, overall, it's a good graphic novel, something light and fun to read. If you got time, and if you're a fan of Once Upon a Time, you'll enjoy it. So I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be a review of episode 4 of season 7, and I'll see you then. Bye!